this video, I'm going to be unboxing the Inku Crate for May, and I want to give a big thank you to Inku Crate who sent this to me for free to review. And if you guys want to save on your first Inku Crate, make sure to use my coupon code and the link in the description box below. So May is Asian American Heritage Month, so I just thought I'd talk about my new favorite podcast. I've been listening to this every morning when I work out. It's called Feeling Asian, and it features these two comedians who are Korean American, and they're so funny. I really like it because they talk a lot about a lot of things that I find to be so relatable and just so hilarious. So if you guys are Asian, especially if you're Korean or part Korean, you might really enjoy this podcast. And so since I recently started listening to it, I have like a gold mine of back episodes that I haven't listened to yet. And so I was listening to one of their older episodes, and they were talking about something so in the beginning of every podcast, they ask each other how they're feeling, and someone just mentioned this, and it just really rang true to me. They were talking about accepting compliments, and one person said that they had a hard time accepting compliments. And I think this is a really common feeling among Asians for some reason. I see this with my friends. If somebody compliments me, it's hard for me to say thank you and just accept the compliment. And I have to fight the urge to just totally deny what they're saying and reciprocate and give them a compliment back. I see that with my family members too. But the host was saying that giving and accepting compliments is kind of like giving and receiving gifts. So say you gave somebody a gift and you spent time thinking about the gift, picking it out for them, and wrapping it. And what happens if you give that person a gift and they're like, oh, no, I can't take this? How would that make you feel? Or like maybe if they just said, no, I don't deserve this, and they just gave it right back to you. It doesn't really feel good when you give somebody a compliment and they reject it, which is oftentimes what people do. If you're being considerate of other people's feelings, maybe the right thing to do is to say thank you and accept the compliment and sort of think about what they said and appreciate it instead of rejecting it or trying to compliment them right back. That happened recently with my husband. He was complimenting me, and my response, I said thank you, but I felt compelled to compliment him back. But that's not what he wanted. He just wanted me to accept the compliment and appreciate it. And so anyway, let me know if you guys have a hard time accepting compliments. I don't know if it has to do with being Asian or, if it's just something that's pretty normal. So this whole accepting compliments thing, this also reminds me of another topic that I've been thinking about lately that was also raised on a prior episode of the Feeling Asian podcast. And this is about having the courage to take up space and to put your name on your work and to take credit for things. So I think maybe I'm just stereotyping, but I think in the Asian culture, you don't really want to stand out. There's a big group mentality or community mentality, and you want to blend in with the crowd, and it's a lot less individualistic than it is in the US. So I was born in the US and I was raised in California. In many ways, I am very American. My husband has told me on many occasions that I am an incredibly selfish person, which he views as a very American trait. So because of that, I was kind of surprised to find myself in this other camp, which I view as being a lot more Asian. And that is the not wanting to stand out from the crowd part, especially when it comes to work. So I guess sometimes with my fashion choices, I'm a little bit more aggressive, or I used to be. I don't want to dress like everyone else. I try to be different. But when it comes to work, I found myself not wanting to stand out. Recently, I worked on some big projects, and I found myself not wanting to put my name on my work. I said it was from the group that I work for, but actually it was me who did most of the work. And in my field, it's customary to like write a footnote at the beginning of your memo or whatever you worked on and say, so and so worked on this and contributed to this project. And sort of that's how you give credit to yourself and whoever else worked with you on the memo. And you want to make sure to thank everybody. But I don't know why, but I feel like that's kind of obnoxious when it's really not. It's just taking credit for what you did. So when I worked on these projects, I did not put my name in the footnote because I didn't want to. And like, I couldn't really articulate a good reason for it. And it wasn't required. And it didn't matter for some of them because I was in charge completely of the project. So I got to do what I want. And I chose not to put my name in the footnote on the memo. And that was fine. But then the next month I worked on another important memo, and it was like jointly with another person, and she did the first draft and she put her name and my name in the footnote. And then I saw that and I asked her if we could remove the footnote and just say it was from like the group that we worked for. And she agreed to it, but I got this sense that she wasn't too happy with it. I guess I've told myself that like maybe like I didn't want to put my name on it because what if it was wrong? What if I didn't get something right? And also I didn't want to have people come back to me and ask me questions about it. And that's partially true, but it's just really the real reason is like some reason that I can't articulate, which is I don't feel comfortable just putting my name out there. And maybe it's because I don't want to be noticed for my work. And then I was thinking, like, why don't I want to put my name on my work? Why do I feel so uncomfortable taking credit for what I did, especially if I did a good job? And so if I do good work, I should be proud to take credit for it. And even if I didn't, I should put my name on it and, you know, get my name out there. But there's so many times when I just haven't done that because I didn't want to. And you know, I do work in a place where people are really good about giving credit. So even if I don't put my name on something, a lot of times I do end up getting credit for the work I do, because for the most part my colleagues are just really honest and they're really generous about giving credit where credit is due. I think there was one instance where I worked on a project and somebody took complete credit for it, even though like I did all of the work pretty much. That was kind of annoying, but that was a rare occurrence. Most of the time my colleagues are like, oh, Marie worked on this, and even if my name's not on it, they make sure to credit me for it. So you know, maybe because of the work culture in the place where I work, I don't really work in a cutthroat industry, so I don't have to do that. But I can see that if I were working with different colleagues, then maybe I would feel more compelled to claim that something was mine. But I can't figure out why I don't feel completely comfortable with taking credit, and so I'm trying to be better about that and sort of put my name on things. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to tell myself that I'll be okay with putting my name in a footnote next time. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you guys feel this way too. And I don't know if it has to do with being Asian or if it's, you know, something that is a little more universal. But I felt like, you know, I wondered if I had been influenced by the time that I spent in Asia, because I feel like it's a very Japanese thing to sort of put your head down and work hard and don't stand out, don't show off. And then when someone compliments you, just deny it and you say, no, you're so wrong. And then you throw the compliment back at them like a weapon. Like, no, you do a good job. You're so smart. Not me. But I can't figure out if being in Asia changed me to be, you know, more like that, or if it was just something that was passed down to me, because, you know, I see those patterns in my family. I see my mom not being able to say you're welcome when someone says thank you to her. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And then so I have one more related thought about work. So on the most recent episode of Feeling Asian, there was somebody she was a really famous actress from Everything Everywhere, and she said something like, when they asked her how she was feeling, she said she just recently accepted that like she has something really great to offer the world, and it's not an accident that she's here. And she's not here just because she's lucky, but because she deserves to be here. And she accepted that. And, you know, she accepted that she brings something to the table, that she can add value to what's out there. And she's excited and passionate to work in the industry that she's in. And I think that's definitely true. She's a very talented actress. And so the host was saying that a lot of people, like especially minorities, and I also think just women in general, have this feeling of like imposter syndrome, which is, you know, you don't deserve, the feeling that like you're faking it and you don't deserve to be here. And it's hard for you to accept that you're really good at your job and that you deserve the credit that you're getting. So I felt like this really resonated with me because that's spot on about how I feel about my current job. So I took off 6 years to raise my kids, and when I quit my job, I quit with the expectation that I would never work in my industry again, because a lot of moms who quit their jobs just never go back to work. It's really intimidating, to be honest. Having come from that place, you've been spending your time not sleeping, changing diapers, running after your kids, and when your kids are really young, it's hard to have an intelligent conversation with somebody because you can't sit down for more than like 2 minutes because you have to follow your kid around so that they won't injure themselves, because you know they're like not able to walk and putting stuff in their mouth, so you always have to keep an eye on your kid, and people are like, kids are always interrupting you when you're talking to other people, so it's hard to have a intelligent conversation unless you're like by yourself. So, and then like you look at your colleagues on like LinkedIn and they're just moving up in their jobs, they look completely professional, and when you're a stay-at-home mom, the world is so different from like work, and it can be really intimidating to think about going back to work. Like, I didn't keep up with my continuing education, I didn't keep up with the news in my field, I wasn't interested in that anymore. I was interested in like kid stuff, and so I felt like I was a little bit behind. But really, you know, when you're taking that time off, you didn't lose your analytical skills. You didn't lose all of the education that you completed, and you're still just as smart. And maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're not like exercising a certain muscle, but you're still you, and you still have all of the talents that you left behind. But I didn't realize that, and I think a lot of parents, when they take time off, you know, they feel like they've lost something. But the truth is that you actually grow as a human so much more. You learn so much from your kids that other people who don't have kids, they haven't had that experience, and that really can add a lot of value to you as an employee. Your ability to solve problems, your ability to explain things to people, your ability to communicate, and those are skills that you can't learn in school, and you really develop those things when you become a parent. So when I was looking to apply for jobs again, and when I got an interview and then I got a call back for a second round of interviews, I felt like I didn't deserve it, and I felt like it was just a miracle. And it really felt like that, and I think I still think it was a miracle. And then when I got a job offer, I was even more shocked, and like I kept thanking the people who brought me on, who interviewed me, and I just felt so grateful to be at this organization that I felt very strongly about and that I loved. And to be honest, I was just happy to be working again. And I also felt like it was a mistake that they even hired me in the first place. I totally didn't feel like I deserved the position. But what this actor is saying was that she felt that way too, and she finally accepted that she does good work and she does deserve to be there. And in the industries that we're in, you know, they kind of perpetuate this stereotype among minorities. Like, a lot of times we're surrounded by people that are mediocre, and we see them move ahead or above us and into positions where other people that look like them have been previously. And so, you know, lately in my organization, I've been seeing women of color and Asians who are young being put into the top positions that are typically occupied by white males. And I just feel really optimistic about where things are headed, and I'm sort of starting to accept that, you know, I am also really passionate about my work and what I do, and I have ideas, and so I should feel grateful to be there, but I should also accept that maybe I deserve to be here. And maybe my education and the work that I did before taking off time to raise my kids put me in a place where I could get this job. And that time that I took off shouldn't be counted against me as time lost. So if anything, it should be looked upon favorably, because I think I came back to work with more passion than people who have been working consistently since they graduated, because I got to take a break and I got to reassess my priorities in life. And so, you know, I feel really excited about what I do and I love it. So anyway, just my thoughts for today. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I want to give a big thank you and shout out to my Patreons and channel members. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, and if you want to get early releases to videos every week and updates, then make sure to check out my channel membership or my Patreon page, which is linked below. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!